20's. Welcome to another podcast episode. Thank you for escuchar. I really appreciate it. Letterlijk, I feel so many happy to finally me doing this. Pero no tengo razón para mí así es niño no vai escuchar. So, I really do appreciate que você anda actually escuchando my podcast. So, yeah. Sowieso ainda, there is still a lot of growing for me to do ding my podcast. Aún não me llega a 23 views. Pero honestly, I love cada 23 tipos now. Like, that's so cute. Thank you for actually listening. Okay, so I wil me get papi eigenlijk over in how to navigate your 20's. I feel like my 20's nang tot nu toe going pretty well. So why not talk about it? Why not figure this 20's thing together? Paso letterlijk, ainda me de my 20's. Dus no tamane mi po bisa bozo. This is exactly what's gonna work for you. Mi po just bisa, this is what I've tried and this worked for me. Okay, eso no significa tampoco que it'll work pa abo specifically. Pero honestly, por dat impari ko ko ta resonate. Por dat impari ko ko na trying da ko ba tamane, okay, this could work for me. Anto, eri mi that totally encourage bo pa gewoon try it out. Anto, wak pa bo mensi da algo ko bolo. Mane, you know, if any of these things I share, if you can use them, or if anything, but the gewoon que de un ore la que sali de otro, si bo no gusta na, you know? So that's totally up to you. Na gewoon spera ko ting at least un kos ko bo sambo take away from this. Okay, so first of all, un tigi context. Mi tem bini 2 anos, mi di Baneiro, mi da bibando na Holanda. Anto, yeah, I feel like I got my shit kind of pretty figured out. Sowieso, December mi da bisa my friends lang, like mi tinte ko mi 30's pa mi get my shit together. And with that, I mean, ko get my shit together. Mi no kaman mani, like, bosa, like, damn. She has no shit together. Mi no kaman styling mani. Mi no ting nada figured out a working. Pero mi tawake mas como bambisa. Boting ture tools dan somewhere. And boting take about 30's pa bo hinka dan tour netje op mijn rijtje. And those are tools ne. Pasigi create something beautiful out of your life. So I mean, I kind of take my 30's like this is my time for me to set my foundation for the life that I'm going to have vanaf mi 30 by arriba, you know. Pono que laat que dat zijn así nada de mijn 20's pa vervolgens or ik begin 30 en dan ben oh shit, I woke me to figure out oh like how am I gonna get a partner of I woke me daarbij figure out kung pa mi mani pa sowieso si ta así na si ese de caso pabo it's okay too. It's okay. Pero si vous tiki mas young until you're still listening to this Bambisa podcast of but working on yourself, a mí personalmente lo no que tengo un vida pas ora me din 30 anos, me da vai começar like work on having a healthy relationship, learning to set boundaries. I don't know, because I feel like your biological clock is gonna tick too. Like, si bo no a figure out ora bo dati mane porta 20 pico anos, si bo que you. But sobra mane like 5 anos, go po actually have you in a healthy, like, no stressful type of way. Like, you know, there's those types of things. Like, gewoon pa mí da importante pa mi mane sapa mi mes. Kiko precies mi que, y ahora mi din 30 anos. Me no tengo stress. Me no tengo stress over the I still don't know what to do about blah blah blah. Ano mi saco de mo vida, sempre lo boting en momento ng A. Pero I would like to have the basics a little bit covered, okay? Like, come gezond, move mi curpa, being disciplined, and to balancing it all. Isn't that the kind of like the things that I really want to hone thing figured out by the time I'm 30? Like, meaning siguro 8 anos ainda pa mi like work on myself. Whatever that looks like for you. Bambisa, si podin 20 anos, si podin 18 anos, you have more time. Pero, esa kita bo anos nang pabolat like work on yourself. Si podin 27 anos, you still have 3 years. Pabo work on yourself. Si podin 29, podin 1 anos. Pabo work on yourself. Ano mi no bisa ko, oh, awa ko podin 30 anos, mo vida acaba. No, it's not that. It's cool. Bota abriendo gente un decade novo. Ando pa a mí, like, mira echt maybe un autist like that. Me gusta mane 5, 10, 15, 20. Me gusta, I like those numbers. I feel like those numbers keep me in check. Anto, ora minha citrina aí, it's a whole new chapter. Okay? So, yeah, with that said, because I'm gonna ramble a bit long about those things. Pero with that said, esse da un tiki mi mindset, esse da e context kubosan por ting. Di mane, okay, like this is where she's coming from. Pese eda bisa e tipo de coisa aqui. Okay, so I read this book kuyama The Defining Decade. And the ding e book e mi abihaya e mindset kumite an woki. Letterlijk. The book e Atomic Habits, like Surrounded by Idiots, like a lot of self-improvement books tabota kumiting e mindset kumiting. Anto pero out of all, the defining decade, tabla is un ayudami mas tanto pa learn a little bit more about how I would like to navigate my 20s. E boekje dat papi over die hoopie koos ng manera. Basically, dat mane un psycholoog. Ando is su cliente nang abini ko diferente caso nang ko taba struggle kunan taba da struggle kuni ora nang taba da dinang 20s. Ando e asinta mane sinta kunang anto bespreek mane die kon in mindset what they could do to make money sobrar in vida better on style. Like it's a little difficult to explain, pero you know, if you want to read that book, you really should. I mean, that book echt hoop po. Like echt money habri me wo and me like realize like I need to take action now. See me get start a business. These are my years to start a business. These are my years to figure out kiko me quede un relationship. These are my years to build that relationship. These are my years to figure out boke casa, boke you. By what time do you want that? Like, those are things that you want to calculate. Wow. So accidents happen. The end up with you mas young. And that is okay. That's okay. You can still build money. Okay. Asina ki mike mi you crece. Asina ki mike, like this is the environment ku mike pa mi you when I'm 30. You know, this is the environment I want as a family. These are the things I want to work on. Yami por ti un futuro más stabil. Okay, so that's kind of the vibe. Okay, I will go me explica gente re context. Ko kiko malesa, ko kiko me pensa, bla bla bla. Me explica bas un tiki like the advice that I have. Okay, but habits nang maybe you should grab a pen and actually take notes. And if not, gewoon focus. Riba is e goal ko ba mas importante of e advice ko ba feel mane ta resonate mas tando ko. Okay, and the wa como da mane apply this to your own life. How do you apply these to your own life? Pero tambe actually do them. No mane just okay, like this is what I heard, this is what I learned. Pero actually try and the wa kung boba pas e konang itu de mo propria vida. Okay, so para começar, bo habits nan ta shape identity mas tando ko goals nan. We all know this. Bo habits nan ta bo costumber nan. Si boting mal costumber, ambisa huma. Bota huma un dia. Bota huma seguinte dia, bota huma de 3 dias. And assim não, uiteindelijk bota huma mane 30 dias pa luna, which is 365 dias, which is pretty fucking bad for your lungs, right? So, boting mal costumber pero boting bon costumber. Para un bon costumber di bota ko bota letterlijk very disciplined. Ora bisa bota asi algo bota asi. You know? So, knowing that, tu rin din ang plus ko na minutes nang, tak? Make sure ko bota mas plus ko minutes and make sure ko bota plus nang ta compensate bo minutes nang. Para bota uma opi, pero bota make sure ko bota skyer bo gender nang so your teeth are always white. Bota make sure ko bota ko me gezond. But I make sure ko, you know, I'm saying that like maybe lego my humamento is sowieso. Pero tanding ko pa por make sure ko bo otro goals at least that like compensate for the bad shit that you're doing. Knowing ko bo habits and the shape of identity sa ko letterlijk a base di kung bo tamane gewoon a base di bo costumberang but I sinti bo different depende mane, you know, kibo asi. Mambisa mi do hene kuno da sinti mi mane je confident e. So mi da disi lanta me inta. Get my hair looking very nice. Wear cute clothes kuda buda mi sinti mi confident. Or mi wak mi sin spiel. Mi da only say good things. Those are gonna make me a more confident person. And the letterlijk saying this, that letterlijk gewoon facts. Like asina ami I end up becoming like this new and improved person kumita. Letterlijk, gewoon door die saying to myself in it, damn, like I'm not that confident of them. Like me doen een tikkie awkward at sometimes. Like I need to work on that. I like put myself in uncomfortable situations over and over and over again. Approach people like letterlijk being like damn, acting friends, like me no ting echt many hin and me that align with. I don't really have that many friends. Letterlijk putting myself in situations, camino me tabla sin me incómodo, pero at the same time I'm working on having more friends. I'm working on having more people who align with me. I'm working on having more people who in a creative space. I'm working on approaching people. Like letterlijk being that person who letterlijk app uyen en dat je zegt, hey, like, my echt vibe. Like, do you want to hang out? Like, letterlijk, that's me. That's the person that I am right now. En ik weet meestal echt work so fucking hard for. Me echt go through hell. Through hell. Like, the uyen, ik walk all that, en letterlijk dansen. Me vrij, letterlijk walk me through all of that. Letterlijk, I was struggling. Struggling, letterlijk, oh my god. Me da echt spera ko hen en ki gusta me af. Like letterlijk, mane, oh, me da echt spera ko, you know, me know that too much of like, is it weird si me puntra nang mane, quantor precies no tabay hangout si letterlijk, na no adunami e mane e claridad e. Is it weird pa mane volve puntra nang pa hangout? Like letterlijk, that's the type of mane mindset ko mitaba datingan to. I don't have that at all. Like letterlijk, me no ting e pensamiento negativo nang e mes. So, okay. Is it a gewoon little inspiration thingy paboso. So I know que tengo bien in Holanda of na Antillas. Cause I feel money, I don't really have that many friends. Me da wak in it, like all of these big friend groups. Me da wak these people like make like lifelong friendships, and maybe I don't have that. And that's okay. Pero that's something you can work on actively. Like that's something kubopo work on. Everything that you want, that kostan kubopo work on. Whether it's by changing your habits, setting more boundaries, at the same time, mesmo cosas como por que más friends, but por que menos también. Porque I wish me por abisa no, ding situación ango da si me incómodo, right? So, saying yes to everything, por to algo negativo. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. Hoy viajes a pensar, más tanto costa, más mío. More projects is better, more friends, more stuff. But at the end of the day, saying yes to everything, dan letterlijk significa como saying no to the things that really matter. Feel that in your soul, okay? Si vos habis así na yeng di cos que porta no ta align ku ekos nan kubo mes que, you're saying no to the things that you actually want. Met echt een voorbeeld pik aqui. Mane, I've had like me discovering friends journey. I've had mane this specific person kung mitaba da film and no echt align ko me pero la punta pa hang out. So I was like, why not? Like we're gonna have a good time. Uiteindelijk maripara very shortly in ko mane, this is not gonna be anything. Gewoon so vibe, that's not my vibe. Like we were not vibing. Porta etapa da vibing pero I'm not the vibing. And like those are things como me sinya, como ta clear and upfront about, like, why waste someone else's time, But at the time, maybe I'm overthinking it. No, let's just give it a try. Kiko. So let's say yes to, like, hanging out, saying yes to things que porta no tava shing align with me. And at the end of the day, I felt like I wasted my time for so long. Anto no di mi so, pero di tambe. Anto, like it actually sabotaged me from making other type of connections que portaba más mío pa mí, pero para otra persona también. And I'm grown, I'm my own up to that, and I did apologize, pero a mí tu gente ko gewoon mane, at the end of the day, si mi wako mas si algo fault, I'm gonna tell you. So I did. Did I take it well? No. Pero at the end of the day, that's setting boundaries, but also that's learning ora ko abot a fault and being able to hone ta upfront about it. Like, you know what? I fucked up. I messed up. And I'm sorry. Eso es importante. Another thing, clarity comes from action, not overthinking. Hoy we to wait around for the perfect job, of a perfect life path, Of guardar pe coisa perfeito bem na nós. Of para finally get money Bosa para finally acaba decidir de momento money okay, this is what it's gonna be. Pero a lot of time clarity tá vindo from action. For a very long time, eu tava pensando, money, oh no, bosa like me quer saber, me não gosta de me vida riba social media toch. And me tava like the struggle. Like I've struggled with that last year. Mas chatando mes. Después, at some point, me tava like, you know what? Me da gewoon delete door my TikToks na, dan is dat gewoon whack. You know? Like, I don't want my life on social media anymore. Sei tava lo que me tava pensando, pero at the same time, me no tava seguro. Once I deleted those videos, that's when I knew, like, no, actually, mistakes were made. Assim, un tiki regret. Pero, you know, más que regret, mas tanto clarity. I finally knew, man, no, this is literally what I want. So, I feel like y'all got that point, you know? Another thing, deep work is very important. Deep work, talat lang man 2 horas, bambisa, kubota. Focus, riba, precies lo que kuboke. Gewoon no distractions, no phone, nothing. Gewoon deep work. You know, ora kuboting man un toets of un cos di school como estará así, ando ba gewoon queda assim. Ando what I anoche promeando, but fully focused, fully immersed, man, oh no, I need to finish this. I need to learn for this test off. I need to finish this assignment. Exactly. That's exactly what I mean with deep work. Except, tao be bom, pabo, gewoon focus. 90 minutos, mami, it could be pa dia, it could be cada 3 días. Pero like, you know, work on that. Like, tiki así más tanto of try at least to implement that somewhere in your week. Another thing that tiny consistent actions are más powerful to occasional big ones. Okay. So, what we be no stamane, okay, finally me they quit this job, or finally me they launch this brand. And to starting it, it was, yes, ma finally do it. But it's not about that. It's about taking those small steps toward that goal. I say that it was going to actually make a difference. But we'll launch a brand, but how consistent are you going to be? But we'll start on podcast. But how consistent are you going to be? Are you going to start it and just be stop? Pas obida bir un tiki druk. Of, but I make sure that I like squeeze in that 30 minutes of time para actually papiamentu ta creativo when you have the chance. You know? Think about that. Okay, so another thing that letting go de un identity que outgrow. Letting go de un identity. Okay, I mean, papi se come. Letting go de un identity que outgrow. Mami sa a mí mes, por ejemplo. Ahora mi tabla tiene 16 años. A menos aquí me da que con mi futuro. Pero si vos pondrás 10-year-old me, él lo sabe. Ahora me tiene 25 años, me tiene mi casa, me tiene un casano, me tiene mi yuna. That's exactly what I would have said. And a lot of time, nos actually think this idea pa nos this is what I said that I wanted. Pero cada focus, riba kiko abo den presente awo kike. Timbia si echt struggling to, you know, work on something. It could be putting some type of fear somewhere about it, but it could also be cool. It's not something that you really want. Mane ami, once me start my podcast, once I start talking, I just keep on rambling, keep on going. And it's something that I've really wanted. And nunca I know asali fi mi kapis. Nunca I know asali fi mi kapis. But there's also things como bisa mi mesmane. This is really nice. This is something that I want. Kumi not actually not about that because I would constantly forget about it after a while, you know? So focus on that, realize when okay. Kiko ihende kumita awoki precis que den vida. Kiko mi ke. And a base de essay, you're gonna make your action plan. Okay? So with that said, I feel like me llega final de mi episode. Honestly, miss los alicas rato. By Miss Tasha. Pero awo kuma acaba awo kimi dabei. Thank you guys for listening to another podcast. Me da echt apreciar and me da echt spera bostang like learn something new. I know that me da echt all over the place me like talking and things, but I just feel so inspired, so I start rambling away. Si vos que un más estructura, so let me know. I will work on it. But yeah, it was very nice talking to y'all. Sowieso mi que peko kita mas man un conversation. Desi ba mane I really want to talk about blah blah blah. Feel free to reach out. Feel free para nos actually discuss the things tan como abisa. Me da echt apreciar like otro en su insights. Si but not agree with something, also let me know. I really do appreciate cada um de vocês atreveva listening to my podcast. Sending y'all virtual hugs. Honestly, I will see y'all next week. I will see y'all next week with another episode. Ainda me trying to figure out, okay, like me vai assim episode por semana, of those episodes per semana, what's it gonna be? But me vai start slowly, because I want to make it a habit, okay? So I'm gonna start slow. Yeah, to scare myself. So for now, it's gonna be one episode per week. Pero me espero que vocês enjoy this aqui. Então, yeah. Besitos. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Mwah, mwah, mwah.